why Jake Paul wins his fights. Jake Paul is a boxer with 5 wins and 4 KOs in total, and the question is, why does he win every fight? I pointed out 3 points that made his strategy good and what he does to make himself really good in like boxing and in social media. And the first one is smart choosing opponents. He fought the first time Nate Robinson. I think I should put in a pillow under his head so it isn't not comfortable for him. There you go. Then he fought Ben Askren, and then he fought Tyron Wodley, 5 times UFC champion. And I think that his choosing opponents is quite okay because he is increasing the level of the difficulty so he can skill up, and this is quite mental for me because when it comes to just skilling up in like any sport, it's quite hard, you know. You need the dedication, which brings us to the point number 2, the dedication to the sport. You should really subscribe, you know, because we have our community comment team, so if you are not part of this community, you should be and yeah, subscribe. And this is the most important thing, that they work hard to get there, and it is really simple because it's all you have to do is in the work. But I think that Jake Paul is really dedicated to the sport, and we should really see what is going to happen because his work ethic is something that I don't think that many people can just, you know, replicate. And the third thing that made him quite special, I think, making the same character as Connor Mcgreagor. I don't know if you noticed, but Jake is really loud when it comes to trash talking on others in boxing world, and hold out Connor Mcgreagor. He just showed up in the car with a 50 million check for Connor Mcgreagor with Irish flag to accept his fight. And I mean, who does it, you know? I think most of the opponents were like trash talking about him, so he just did the same and maybe even worse. And I think that this is quite a good strategy because you can get into opponent's mind, and this is quite interesting because he is like replicating Connor's behavior because he is really toxic before the fight on press conferences. He wants to win over the fight even before it really comes down to the fight. But Jake, no, he's a problem child like me, you know. I stuff potatoes in my toilet, you know. I'm bad. But I think that Jake Paul is making himself really famous now, and he gets the attention to grow as a boxer because this was as like a small channels, and I think that it is going from like small channel on YouTube to a big channel that I'm trying to make a content for like Jake Paul, who is already famous, but Jake Paul is the same thing but going for the boxers who are famous, and this is quite interesting. When it comes to like his fights, his next opponents could be Canelo Arvarez, Nick Diaz, and maybe Tommy Fury, maybe, but I don't know who is going to be his next opponent. What I know is that he will put a 5 million offer and some percentage of pay-per-view buys for the opponent. Some people even don't make this much in their entire life, and you get this for one singular fight. It is crazy for me to just see all of these numbers. It is mental. But one more thing is quite interesting. Are the fights rigged? I don't really think that he will fake a fight. First and foremost, this is because people don't actually like Jake Paul. I don't think I like him either. He surrounded himself with a lot of controversy. I saw people making an opinion that he rigged his last fight because he turned his wrist or something like this before he knocked out Tyron, and I think that that's really stupid of those people, because how are you even supposed to see the wrist? Like, you are in the fight and you are trying not to get knocked out. I mean, it doesn't make sense when the fighters are like quite happy overall. I mean, they got the money, they got like attention for a while, and even Tyron Wodley was laughing at the memes and told everyone that he will give away $5,000 to the best meme or video that makes him laugh. It is really stupid because people think that you can fake the fight even if you are like Jake Paul. So that's were my thoughts on this topic, and have a nice day. Goodbye.